Black Talk Radio Network is made possible in part with help from the Black Talk Media Project, a North Carolina-based nonprofit engaged in the production and distribution of independent digital black media. Find out more by going to blacktalkradionetwork.com or blacktalkmediaproject.org and look for the menu tab, Crowdfunding Black Media. Black Talk Media Project, helping to provide you with new black media for the new millennium. And opinions expressed by callers, guests, and hosts do not necessarily reflect those of the Black Talk Radio Network and Black Talk Media Project. Black Talk Radio is new black media for the new millennium.
Okay, everybody, thank you for joining us with BIB Radio here today. I believe my co-host is here with me on the line, Brother Robert 11X. Hold on, I can't hear him. I think he muted himself. Hold on.
Hear me now?
Yes, okay. I can hear you now. Okay, Robert, how are you today?
I'm doing wonderful. And yourself?
I am excellent. So today we are talking about side hustles, perhaps the pathway to entrepreneurship. Now, we know that many people do things on the side. You know, they have a regular job, but they do things on the side. So, you know, in order to get off the job, sometimes you have to start something on the side in order to go that way. Have you ever done that before, Robert?
No. I've been doing this for 23 years. When I was my first, when I exited from the job workforce, what I did was took some information from the last job I had and information that I knew that I could use to actually do something for myself, and that's what I did. And I worked, the last day was on a Saturday, and that next week I was implementing my plan.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, you're a little bit different. Nothing wrong with that. I know for me, I've done jobs. I've been self-employed since I was 23. My business was childcare. But even after that, in order to learn a certain profession, I would go work on the job, more specifically like home care. I became a home care agent, and so I started doing that, you know, for an agency, but then was able to cycle out of that and do it privately for myself and make much more money. But yeah, that's how I used to do it. I used to do some little jobs, and then just on the side, just do my own little thing, kind of correlating with what I was doing. But yeah, I'm totally in agreement with side hustles. Especially if you're trying to get into your own business. So today we have a guest. Her name is Ms.Charlene Sears, and I met her because she is doing something on the side, and it is called Paparazzi, and it is a jewelry company. So right now we'd like to welcome Ms. Charlene Sears to our program. Are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you, CC. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Oh, no problem. So Brother Robert is also on the line, and you met him the other day.
I did. Yes, Brother
Okay.
Robert, how are you?
Doing great, Charlene, and yourself?
I'm doing fine, and I noticed that you and I have something in common, and that's my maiden name, and you have the same name.
Yeah, I heard you and Cece discussing that. We could be some kind of way related. We definitely down the pipeline. I know that plantation, whoever his first name, owned some slaves, and that's what we were, property of Master Miner. So you never know. The history is definitely probably there.
Right. And
That's
both
so
of you grew
true.
up in
That's
St.
so
Louis,
true.
so I mean, you could be cousins and you just don't know it. But that's something that we'll have to definitely research.
That's true.
I'm interested. So let's get into this, Ms. Charlene. So tell us what it is that you do, because we're talking about side hustles, and you work a regular job, 9 to 5, correct?
I do. I work. I'm a full-time court clerk where I am now. I've been there for 15 years, and before I got that position, I was a court clerk at another municipality for about 8 years. So I've actually been in the business a little over 20 years in my profession.
Wow, you must enjoy that.
I do. You know what? I don't know how I started this journey years ago. It's just something actually that I started doing that as a part-time job, just as a side hustle again. And it's like the more I got into it, the more I loved it. And I eventually started going to school to get my associate's degree in criminal justice. And so I've also started to work on getting my bachelor's. Honestly, I kind of put it on hold right now because I'm working, like multiple businesses. So I do plan to go back because I'm I'm a little too close to stop now. You know what I'm saying? So I do. Yeah. I love criminal justice.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's good because
yes.
When you find something that you're passionate about and you're able to go forth with it, I mean, you will be so great in that profession. So I'm really happy that you're doing something in criminal justice. Now, okay, so you've been doing that for about 20 some odd years. Tell us, what was your first side hustle?
Oh boy. Okay, so my first side hustle would be Diva Properties LLC. And honestly, that's how I got started. When I left the first municipality, I had a little money put to the side, and I don't know. I just started thinking, what can I do? I want to do something. I don't know what I want to do, but I need to work on some extra income. And so me and one of my cousins, we were talking one day, and I just said, you know what? When I get into some money, I'm going to get into some real estate. And so when I did get into that money, I bought my first piece of property actually this month here 15 years ago in 2002.
Wow.
And so when I bought that first two-family flat, I was a little nervous, because I hadn't had any education behind me in real estate. But it's been a learning process. I've learned so much over the years. So with that business, I actually owned up to like 7 properties at one time. So I just got rid of one of them. I should say I just sold one in May, about the first weekend of this past May. And then I would say about a year and a half ago, I sold another property.
Wow. So it sounds like real estate has been good for you. Yeah.
It has. It has its advantages as well as its disadvantages. It just depends on, how you look at it. I would say, as far as real estate, one of my advices would be is when you get that property, make sure you put as much as you can into it as fixing it up, because the more you put into it as fixing it up, then you shouldn't have so many calls where the tenants are calling you because this needs done, this, and that needs to be done. So I've actually, I would say probably about a year ago, I started kind of fibbling through, just kind of writing through a little journal about doing a book. So a couple of, well, actually 2 books. I want to do one book on tips for women on what you should and should not do, or what you should or should not look for in purchasing a home, and then also some advice on real estate, because don't get me wrong, it's good residual money. I should say, if you got it coming in. However, if everything is not good, but you have to take the good with the bad. So, I must admit, I've been like really, really fortunate now, because I've had some hardship. I know a couple of properties that I actually purchased. I was buying those properties because I'm like, okay, well, let me put a little money into it and fix it up and flip it, as they say, and get rid of and do a little something. But I got stuck with that property.
Oh,
because it was during the time, because it was during the time of like the stock market crash. So, and then the property, and doing that hardship of the property losses. So I can honestly say I am so blessed. I've never endured a foreclosure. Never.
Oh, my
I've never
goodness.
had to go through a foreclosure.
People can say that.
So I am like truly, I'm truly blessed. And I mean, I have really, went through some storms with some tenants, but I also have some that are like truly amazing. I mean, like really amazing. So
wow.
it's a good side hustle. Yes, it really is.
Okay, well, that's real estate, and that's big. Like you said, you're going to be writing some books, and we would love to have you come on and talk about those when you're done with them. We could probably help you with some of that information concerning your book. Now, before we get into the others, you told me yesterday that you actually have a coach. So tell me about that, and what do you feel is the importance in having a coach?
Oh my God, I have. Yes, she has tremendously been helping me with my business. I would say I have like quite a few things going on, and so I've had to learn that some people say, "Oh, you're so busy," but then I had to learn I'm not busy. I'm productive. I'm a productive busy. So she's had one of the biggest things she has really helped me with, and that's scheduling. I've learned that when I schedule, I work so much better. Things are more productive. It used to be a time when I said, "Oh, okay, well, today I'm going to do this. I'm going to work on that. I'm going to work on this." But then she set me down and she taught me, okay, well, look, Ms.Charlene, this is what we're going to do. You have Sunday through Saturday. So you need to get we have this outline that I have to go by every week. And it's a planner. So Monday, you're going to do this. Tuesday, you're going to do that. Wednesday, Thursday, every day. Like, honestly, every day I have a different business that I have to work on. Every day. I have a different business that I need to work on. And so working on those different businesses, what I like is that she helps you break them down. Okay, so today, well, let's see. Like Monday is my paparazzi day. So what am I going to do with paparazzi? So I need to know, not that I'm working on paparazzi, but what am I going to be doing? You see what I'm saying? Tuesday is my Diva Properties day. So what am I going to be doing? So every day I have something different to do, but I need to know what I'm doing. So, she's really been helpful on that. And then she helps me get out like letters and notices, and she makes phone calls for me. She helped me with advertising and promoting. So, she has truly been a blessing.
That's wonderful. Okay. So how would one go about finding a tremendous coach like yours?
You know what? Actually, I think I put it out on Facebook, or I contacted a young lady that I know does business coaching, and she couldn't do it. So she said, well, let me refer you to someone else. And so she referred me to this young lady, and we talked about it and everything. And we've been working together, I would say, since about February. We've been working together. She's very, she's flexible. She works well with you. Pretty much anything you need, she'll help assist you. So I really like that. Like now, I am working on my picnic, which we can talk about that. But I'm doing a community picnic next month, July the 22nd, in Heman Park in University City. So she's really been helping me get those letters and notices and all those things out to for my donation.
Okay. Wow. Well, you know what? It sounds like your side hustle is greater than the 9 to 5 that you do, because you are definitely busy. Now, we met because you are doing this jewelry business called Paparazzi. Tell us about that.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love Paparazzi. So I was thinking of I had an event a year ago, and this lady I know, she told me you have to have multiple streams of income. And so even with the things that I'm doing, one day I was just thinking like, okay, what can I do to generate some extra funds? Because I'm working on this financial freedom of mine. I need to be at a certain point at a certain time in my life. And so I get on Facebook a lot because I advertise a lot, and I try to find other things that I may need. So this young lady I know that was on there, every time I open it up, she's always saying about the money she's making in Paparazzi. And I'm like, she can't be making that kind of money for real. But she kept saying she was making that money. And so just to piggyback, I had already been buying the jewelry, like I would say at least 3 or 4 years before I even, decided to get into it. And so when I kept seeing it, I inboxed her. And I said, I would like to talk to you more about Paparazzi. It seems like it's interesting. It's only $99 to get started. And I know $99, and if you've ever owned a business, that's absolutely nothing. Nothing.
Right.
I mean, because I have a business, I'm paying for a business right now that I no longer own. So $99, even had I lost it, that's no big deal. So nonetheless, I sent her this message, and she said, oh, sure, we can talk tomorrow. So before we started talking, I just started doing my own research, and I got on her website, and I started looking to see what it's all about. And so she and we connected the next day. So she gave me, we talked a little bit about it. And then it was the $99 they got me, because I'm like, okay, even if I lose it, no big deal. And so I talked to her and I said, well, I'm getting ready to sign up. And she was like, really? I said, yes, ma'am, I'm getting ready to sign up like right now. And so I did just that. I signed right up. And then she gave me some more information, and my website was as soon as I signed up, I instantly got my website, which is free. That comes with your consultant.
Wow!
She shared
you get a website and a consultant.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am. And then like the same day or the very next day, I think it was the next day, I went back to my own website. And I started picking out my jewelry, because when you sign up, then they give you a starter kit, which means you get 35 pieces of jewelry in that starter kit, but it's chosen by the company. So after it's chosen by them, after that, then you just go out and you order whatever you want to order. It's on you on whatever you want to order after that. And so I just started ordering pieces, and I started sharing the business with people, and actually people they had started placing a few orders on my website before I even got my starter kit. Because keep in mind, I had my website. Yes, ma'am. Right. Yes, ma'am. I was getting orders even before my starter kit came. Yes.
Oh my God. So that's wonderful.
Yeah. And so when I started telling people about what I'm doing, they was like, really? I want to see this jewelry. So I just started sharing the business. And so I know a little bit about business anyway, so I started finding vendor events to do as far as the paparazzi. And I'm like, oh, my God, these women are really serious about this $5 jewelry. I could not believe it.
Right.
I could not believe it. And so
Wow.
at work, I started telling the women at work about it. Oh, my goodness. Even the men were buying jewelry. And it's like I came in at the perfect time. I was like really, really selling jewelry. It was like amazing. I'm like, okay, I cannot believe this is $5 jewelry.
Now,
so
do you
just
think
to give
you think that people are like really excited because of the price, the quality, or both? Because this is amazing how you're doing so well.
I would say the price and the quality. I'll tell you why. Because it's a lot of beautiful jewelry out here, but keep in mind, everyone cannot afford $80 jewelry, $85 jewelry, 90 jewelry, or even 45 jewelry. But yet we still want to look nice when we're going to work or we're going out enjoying ourselves, or it's just a social event or a date night, or you and your spouse night. So and then you have some people, I shouldn't say less poverty, but you have some people with a little low income, but yet why shouldn't they feel pretty or look nice because they can't afford it?
Exactly.
So we make it affordable for everyone. And that's what I love about it. No matter what your income is, you can still afford a piece of jewelry just to make you feel better.
And wait, it's not even a piece of jewelry, because the earrings and the necklace come together as a set.
Everything, yes. When you purchase a necklace, every necklace comes with earrings. Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
Now, that's what I like, because I'm a set kind of girl.
And so you can't beat that.
Yes, I like a nice
I know
skirt, and yes, jewelry too, absolutely.
Yeah. And I know it's a good company because I even got on the computer and I started, just kind of searching some jewelry sites. I promise you, I seen some that were pretty low, but none of them hit the jewelry mark like ours. Our jewelry wholesale is $2.75. And so when we sell it retail, it's $5. And so when we sell it for that, then we're getting $2.25, which makes us get a 45% commission.
Wow. Well, I got to tell you,
I'll share this with you.
well, let me tell you real quick. After dealing with Brother Robert, I can't help but wonder. Okay, so if you're getting it at $2.25, what is the company getting it for? That's what I need to get it for.
Well, no, you got to keep in mind. Remember, we're only paying them $2.75. That's all we're paying them. Right. So that's what they're getting. It's the $2.75. That's it. That's all they're getting paid. But it's so many consultants now, and we have women. We have some women that's buying over 1,000 pieces of jewelry a month. I promise you.
Wow.
They are really, and I'm like, okay, yes, a month. Some of these women are like really serious. I'm like, really $5 jewelry, but I've seen it for myself. And I'll give you for instance, I did a church comedy event on almost 2 Saturdays ago. And I was doing an event by myself, and the women, they were like, oh, $5. Oh, I like that. And so one lady, she needed a necklace at that moment. She said, oh, I need that necklace right there. I need that right now. I need a necklace. So she sent 2 or 3 other ladies over there to get a necklace just like that, but I only had 2 left.
Hello?
Uh-oh.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. You only had 2 left. We lost you for a minute.
And so I would say in about 4 hours I made about $300.
Oh my gosh! Off this $5
Some people don't
jewelry.
make that in a day's work. Yeah, yes. One lady, yes, one of the other vendors came to me. She said, "Girl, look, I think you're gonna need some help over here because they were really swarming me, and and it was a blessing in so many ways because believe it or not, one of the ladies that purchased from me, she told me that day, she said, hey, I think I'm going to sign up. And I said, huh? That's all I could say. She said, I like this. I think I'm going to sign up. And so I'm like, oh, okay, well, we can talk and, we'll talk about it and I'll give you a little bit about the business. When I opened up my email on that Monday, this lady has signed up. It's on my
Wow.
Facebook page. I don't have to brag or boast. If you go to my Facebook page, Charlene's Jewelry by Paparazzi, it's on my Facebook page. Yes, I even put a copy of the email that I received from my company. She actually signed up. She did.
Mm.
And I'm like, oh my goodness. Mhm. And honestly, that's why, like tonight, I need to call her back. She just got her starter kit yesterday, and I called her, but I missed her call. I mean, she missed my call, and then she called me back, and I was getting ready to call on this line, but I'm gonna have to make sure I call her back tonight because she left me a message saying, "Hey, I love my starter kit. I'm ready to launch me some parties." I'm like, okay, this lady has to be called back tonight.
Absolutely. You got to
And
stay on
so,
top of those
yeah.
contacts.
Yeah. And then like one more case, I would say like this past Friday, a young lady, she texted me at the last minute and say, "Hey Charlene, I wonder if you can stop by. My sister's in town and we want to look at some jewelry before we go to dinner at 7." And so I'm like, oh, okay. Even though I had a meeting because I'm in a women's organization, I told the organizer, I said, look, I'm going to be a little late and I may not show up because I have a business call I have to attend to. And so when I got there, it was like the lady that called me, her sister, her daughter, and then her friend was coming in the door behind me. She called her other daughter on the phone to come over, and she called her mother-in-law. Her mother-in-law lived right by her. I promise you, I could not. I was just like, I couldn't believe it. I made like 100.
Wow. Well, that sounds like a better come up than the business meeting.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
and they loved it so well. They was like, "Oh, we need a jewelry party." I'm like, "Really? This is a jewelry party?" They was like, "Nah, we need a bigger jewelry party." So I am scheduled to do a jewelry party with them on June the 25th.
What a blessing. I tell you,
so
it sounds like you
yes.
are being really fulfilled by giving people what they want. And I'm sure you purchase a lot of jewelry yourself because, I mean, we like jewelry as women. I mean, that's the reason why you got into it, too. So if our listeners would like
but
to.
You know what, CC, I do like? It's
what?
not all about profit because believe it or not, I give away free jewelry all the time. I give away free jewelry all the time. You know why? Because I'm only paying $2.75. Another reason why, I'm going to get blessed one way or another.
Absolutely.
So I love helping another woman. I love uplifting another woman. I love making her feel like she's special and she's pretty. And also I love doing it because it's not always about how much I'm making, but I love it because I'm also giving.
Wow. And if you inspire the people under you, to do the same thing, then we can definitely make this world a better place. And on top of being able to be inspired, you can also teach women how to be self-sustainable, especially with the economic times. And with that being said, if people want to find out more about Paparazzi Jewelry or your other business endeavors, how do they get a hold of you or get your information?
Okay, my email is Diva Properties LLC, which is DIVAPROPERTIES LLC, the @ ATT.net. That's Diva Properties LLC at ATT.net. My paparazzi email, in case you want to look at some jewelry, it's paparazzi, PAPPAZZIACCESSORIES.com/55188. Again, that's paparazziaccessories.com/55188.
Well, it sounds like this side hustle business, the whole side hustle is a whole business for you because you're really flourishing. And we really want to hear about everything that you're doing. So make sure that you come back and update us whenever you need to. If you need a commercial to air, we can definitely do that for you for as little as $50 on our network. And we can also email you over some stats concerning where our programming goes and the network. So we definitely don't want to hold you all night because no problem. We know that you have to get to that call to your the person that's under you. And I know you have to get to bed because you got to get up early in the morning. But we thank you and come back again at any time, okay?
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you for letting me get on here and share this. I really appreciate it. I appreciate everything you're doing.
And one more time, tell us about your event at Heman Park.
Sure. It's the community. It's giving back to the community picnic. Just real quick, I'll just say this community picnic stemmed from the Mike Brown. Let me just say that when I started this picnic 4 years ago, it was for my tenants, giving back to my tenants and giving back to the community. But the first year that I had it, that was the same year as the Mike Brown unrest. And so I had many calls from people saying, oh, I wanted to come, but, that was my son's friend or my daughter's friend or what the case may have been. And I'm like, wow. And so I kind of pondered over it a few days after that, and I'm like, I really want to do this again. And so something just said, you know what, make it not about you, not about your tenants, but make it a community effort because that's the way to bring the community together free of charge. And so it just inspired me to say it's giving back to the community. And so that's what I've been doing. We have so much fun. We have free food. I have a clown there. I have things for the children to do. We have face painting. We play games. I give away gifts. I give away a lot of gifts. We play games and I give away gifts. It's so much fun. It's for all to enjoy. And so as for donations from individuals that's able to donate because it can be really costly. But when you're doing something nice, then, you just kind of overlook the cost. And honestly, the first year I funded everything from my pocket, everything. And then the second year, I would say I funded maybe half, and then I started getting donations. And so last year I got a little more donations. So, the donations is really, really helping. And since then, that actually inspired me to get my 501c3 because one of my donors, he said, well, Charlene, if you're going to do this every year, then why not get your 501c3, your non-for-profit, and do it that way? And since then, I gained my status, and that's what I'm doing it up under my 501c3. So, so it's giving back to the community. The event is Saturday, July the 22nd at Heman Park, Pavilion F and G. And we will be there from 12 to 6.
12 to 6.
So please come on out. Share. Tell everyone. Please come out.
Absolutely. And for those that don't know, this is in St. Louis, Missouri. So make sure that you come out and support this event by Ms.Charlene Sears. Well, Charlene, we thank you for hanging out with us for 37 minutes and 20 seconds. But we're going to let you get back to everything that you need to do. And feel free, again, come back anytime if you need to do some promotions or talk about your book or anything else that you're doing. Spread the word, share our network, and definitely tell your friends about us, okay?
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. CC and Mr. Robert. You guys have a great night.
You too, and we'll definitely be in touch about that jewelry real soon, okay?
Absolutely. No problem. You guys take care.
Thank you. Best blessings.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, everyone. That was Miss Charlene Sears. Now, as you can see, she is, forget side hustle, she is an entrepreneur for real. She's doing several things. one of the questions, Robert, I wanted to ask her was, well, what kind of husband do you have? Because she is like a busy woman. I mean, we could probably get into that another time, but you definitely would have to be a confident man to keep up with a woman like that, because she is involved with her community. She is a homeowner, and she is just a out-and-out go-getter. She's really getting things done, and not sitting back and being a pity party to even the circumstances that she's had to deal with. We commend you, Ms. Charlene. Do your thing, honey. What do you think about that, Robert?
Oh, well, I love go-getters, and I try not to question why a person would, especially as big as Charlene, as busy as Charlene, have a job, but to each his own. But she definitely is a entrepreneur. I mean, and no, hands down, it's in her blood. She's gonna make a way, and I wish her all the success due to her. She's doing some things that on some levels that a lot of entrepreneurs are not even attempting to do. You're talking about having community events and stuff like that. That's on a whole nother level. That's very selfless. That's giving back. And I applaud her for that. But I admire her for. I mean, you got to stay busy. One of the questions I always have I wanted to really ask her, but I didn't get a chance to ask her, was in reference to the habits of people like herself. When you speak of having a coach, and that's a huge thing. So the first thing came in my mind was, well, what are some of your basic habits? Like what time do you get to bed? What time do you get up in the morning? When you're talking about organizing and structuring your day, as she says, she has a day for this and a day for that. If you're not connected to habits of successful people, if you're not aware of that, one of my things is, how do you expect to become successful doing it the opposite of successful people? If your habits are opposite of successful people's habits, then are you trying to recreate the wheel, or are you thinking you're going to get greater because it works for you a certain way, or what? Those are the questions that instantly was on my mind, especially when you're talking about having a business coach. So I'm thinking, when she said that, I'm like, oh, wow, that's just like having a fitness coach, Well, you want a fitness coach and you want to get your body in shape. Well, that's a lot of working out. That's a lot of discipline. And same in with, any other field that you get into. If you having someone, you possibly paying someone to coach you, then you got to get ready for some discipline with that. And again, those are questions that I would have loved to have asked her, but nevertheless, I applaud this sister.
Right. Well, unfortunately, we didn't get to have her on the full hour. I'm sorry if you didn't feel like you got an opportunity to talk to her, but I don't know. I felt kind of rushed, like she could only be on a few minutes, so we'll definitely have to have her back on again soon. But again, shouts out to all the work that she's doing. She knows the importance of giving, because when you give, you definitely get back. So that's a blessing. Now, what I wanted to do now, before our next guest, I wanted to play a video from a young lady that I wanted to have on the show, but I haven't heard back from her yet. But I was very impressed by her her YouTube channel, and she talks about side hustles. I mean, she's made a business out of teaching people how to do things on the side. Her latest video that I saw was one where she was talking about opening a daycare business, because she had opened a daycare business, or she started a daycare business. But yeah, I mean, she's just wonderful. I'm telling you, I just totally admire everything that she's doing. So I wanted to play some, if not all, of her information. So again, her name is Malicia. Let's see here. I think I'm saying it right. Malicia. Her channel is called Malicia at Home. So let's see if we can go ahead and listen to some of her suggestions. Again, I really like what she's doing. Let's see here. Of course, we have to get through the YouTube for a second. Hold on.
$5 and learn as you go.
Okay.
Malicia from Malicia at Home. So on today's video, hopefully my volume is working. I've been having some technical difficulties with my camera and my computer lately. I don't have the best camera or computer, but hopefully someday I'll be able to upgrade my equipment so that I can, sound better without static that you may hear in the videos and so forth. So I apologize about that, but my main focus is to, provide you guys and shoot out as much information on my channel so that, you guys can have this information. And that's basically what that is. Okay, so on today's video, I wanted to share some very unique ways in which you can earn money on the side, and these are called side hustles. And side hustle is just opportunities or things you do on the side to earn additional income, like extra cash and so forth. So if you have like a full-time job or even a part-time job and it's not, enough, bringing in enough money, then you can do something on the side or something extra to add on to what you're already making in whatever job that you're doing. Okay, so these are side hustles that can potentially become more than side hustles, that could become like a living. There are people who actually make a living from these types of side hustles. Okay, so I have my notes here, so I'm just going to go down and read and provide you guys with 10 side hustles that you may not have thought of, or some of you may have thought of it or heard of it, but it's not prevalent enough, and people may not have, really thought about these things. So they're very interesting. So I'm going to read and give you some information where you can get started in doing any one of them if you are interested in them. Okay, so the first side hustle is renting out your car. If you have a vehicle that you don't mind renting out, you can go to, you can sign up to a website called getaround.com, and they will provide you, I believe, $1 million in insurance coverage. So that's a lot of insurance coverage, which makes sense if you're renting out your vehicle to, people. So you can rent out your vehicle for $10 per hour, and I guess they will use your vehicle to travel or go wherever if they don't have a vehicle and so forth. So it's the same thing as renting out vehicles in, these places like Enterprise, but it's a lot cheaper and more affordable because there'll be, you could charge people $10 per hour to rent out your vehicle. This is great if you have an extra vehicle that you may have that you might be thinking of selling it and so forth. You can, make money off of it and rent it out to individuals and make money, additional income, side hustle with your additional car that you are thinking of getting rid of or selling. So definitely check out getaround.com if that's something that you might be interested in doing. The next opportunity that you may not have thought of is selling your hair. Yes, there are people who are selling their hair, and we shouldn't be surprised at that because, you have wig stores and you have people who wear extensions and, weaves and so forth. And so those are, some of those hair, which are more expensive, are actually real people's hair. And it's beneficial to do that because it's not just for people who just want to make a fashion statement and just change up their hairstyle and so forth. There are people who suffer from certain ailments and they lose their hair, and so, that can benefit them. There are people who actually donate their hair or sell their hair for people that, have certain sickness like cancer So, that's another way you can earn income. So if you have, a lot of hair, you can, sell it. And there's a site, I believe, called Hair Salon, which is spelled HAIRSELLON. So it's kind of a play on hair salon, hair salon. So definitely check out Hair Salon if you have hair to sell, if you like to sell your hair. Okay. Now, another opportunity, another side hustle that is very interesting that you may want to consider, this is number 3, is giving tours around your city. Now, there's people who like to visit certain cities and, like tourists and so forth, or even just normal people who just want to visit a city, and you can provide them with tours around your city if you know your city really well. Like I live around the D.C. area, so, there's a lot of attractions, and you have the Capitol and the monuments, so a lot of tourists and a lot of people like to visit D.C. So if you live in that area, you can, provide tours using your vehicle and just driving them around your city and, and so forth, and you can charge for that. Okay, so you can visit a website called BIB.com if that's something that you may be interested in, providing a tour for people who are visiting your city. Okay, number 4, you can actually rent out a room in your home. Let's say you have available space or empty room in your home. You can rent it out, and of course that shouldn't be new to us because people rent out their rooms plenty of times and make extra income, and it also provides you the ability to, get extra money to pay for your mortgage or to pay for rent and so forth. So it's sort of like room sharing and so forth. But with this type of opportunity, you can rent out your room to entrepreneurs and business individuals, and they can use that room.
Turns out our kid is bright. We're eating steak tonight. Don't have
for office to do work. So basically, you'll be renting out your room as an office. That's number 4. Number 5 is flipping free products on Craigslist. So if you go to Craigslist and search out free products, like they have products that are like cheap. Sometimes people post items and products for free on Craigslist because they may be desperate to get rid of items. They may be moving, or they just need to get rid of some stuff, and they're desperate and just they'll give it away, or they'll post it on Craigslist and say it's free. So come pick it up. You just need a truck to pick it up. So there are people that actually do that to get rid of items quickly. So you can go on Craigslist and search for free products, and you can get those products and actually resell them. So it's basically called, flipping. So you can flip it for a profit. Just post it back up on Craigslist and charge other people for it, or on eBay. Okay, so that's another way you can make some extra income with that type of side hustle. Another opportunity, number 6, is house sitting. So I'm sure this may sound familiar to you guys anyway. There are individuals who do house sitting, and it's similar to babysitting, but there's no children in the home. Usually it's just the house, and you're just watching the home for individuals who may, go on vacations, and they're leaving for a certain period of time, like have extended vacations that may be a week to a month long, and they may need someone to come and stay in their house and just, make sure everything is okay with their home. So you can get paid a lot of money for doing that. So house sitting is something that you may want to consider. You can do it part-time, it's flexible, it all depends on your availability. The website that you can sign up to get started with that is trustedhousesitters.com, mindmyhouse.com, caretaker.org, and some of these sites do charge fees. Like the fees range from $30 to $60 to post your profile and so forth. I couldn't find any that didn't charge. I'm sure there are. I'll post if I, find any free sites that you can sign up to do this. But you can advertise yourself on Craigslist and other free sites as a house sitter. If that's something that you're interested in doing, you can go ahead and do that. Okay, number 7. This one, it might be a little off-putting to you guys, but there's an article that I came across of this individual who wrote this article of his experience and how he's able to make a lucrative income and a business out of it. It's called dumpster diving. I think I heard of it one time when I was watching this show called Cheapskates, like America's or Extreme Cheapskates. And the show is basically about people who are very, like, really cheap, like penny savers and very frugal to the extreme. Like, they do some really, really extreme things to save money. And there was an episode where it had this girl who does dumpster diving, and she had planned a house party with guests, and all the food came from garbage that she scraped up from garbage, and she created her own meal out of the dumpster. Doesn't make your mouth watery at all. I thought it was pretty disgusting. I would never do that. But if you're not interested in dumpster diving for food, which I don't recommend, but hey, to each his own. There's an article of an individual who makes money from dumpster diving for electronic parts. So what they basically do is go to like stores, like dumpsters that are located near electronic stores, and they will, dumpster dive for electronic parts, and they will resell those electronic parts. Okay, so they're making pretty good money with that. And there are different websites in which you can, resell the parts to. So I'll post a link about that information. Number 8. This is interesting, and I wasn't sure of adding it into my list, but I thought it was interesting because, we always see individuals with all these tattoos on their bodies, and some of the tattoos are not like real. Some of it may be temporary tattoos, but there is an opportunity where companies will pay you to tattoo your body, use your body as a human billboard, basically, and tattoo their business onto your body, and they'll pay you lots of money for that. So the next time you see individuals who have tattoos all over their body, they may be a human billboard, and they probably are making some money from their tattoo and making a living from it. So you might be wondering how this person got all this tattoo on their body and they don't work. Well, they are working. They're advertising for a company on their bodies. So I don't know if that's something that you guys might consider, but I'm not endorsing that because I can't really say why I'm not really endorsing it, but there are people who are making money based off of tattooing companies on their bodies. Now, if you're not comfortable about being a human billboard for a company, you can use your vehicle again to advertise for companies. There are companies that will ask you to basically plaster your car with advertisements of that company, and especially if you're someone who drives a lot and you get out very often, you're always driving around, you're like a road runner. There are companies that are looking for people like you who are outgoing and drive around a lot and like to drive in long-distance areas to advertise their company on your car, to use your car as advertisement. And I've seen cars like that have advertisements all over their car, like completely wrapped in advertisements. And I was like, what's that all about? But it's basically them marketing a company, and the driver gets paid for that, good money for it. So you can definitely check out vehicle advertising, using your vehicle as an advertising board. I'll try to find some information about that, to post a link to where you can get started. I'm sure you can Google it and find companies that will do that if you are interested in doing that. Okay, so number 10, last and for now. Now, this is not like, anything surprising. It's basically using your voice to make money. There are companies that will hire voiceovers, of course, we know that. So that's my number 10 side hustle that you could do. You can use your voice to make money, whether you're a singer, you're a speaker, whether you have soft voice such as mine, or a loud voice, or, a certain bass to your voice. You can make money off of your voice. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this individual, but I'm sure if you YouTube them or Google them, they will pop up. There's this guy. He was a homeless guy, and he had a radio voice. Like when he spoke, it was almost like he wasn't standing in front of you. It was like he was literally speaking from a radio. And he got famous for it, and this video of him went completely viral. And he started getting so many endorsements, and so many companies wanted him. And he started, getting so many different jobs for his voice. And he became like a millionaire. So definitely is opportunities available for your voice. So if you like talking, if you have a beautiful voice, if you have people compliment your voice, then maybe you can, make it into something and make some side hustle off of your voice. And there's plenty of opportunities out there for that. So I'll provide some information below this video where you can get started in doing voiceover opportunities and jobs. And yeah, so if you have that golden voice, definitely put it to use. All right, so those are my 10 side hustles that I came across that you may not have heard of, some of you. And it's definitely something that can get you thinking outside the box about, the different ways that are out there that are available to you that will allow you to make some money, extra cash, or even to make a living out of it, or even to start a business out of it, and so forth. The sky is the limit, basically. Great. So I hope this video helped you guys out. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to my channel. You can post your comments below of, if you have any side hustles that.
All right. Well, again, that young lady's name is Malicia, and her YouTube channel is called Malicia at Home, and she always has different business tips for you for side hustles, online businesses, and just her personal experiences in doing things for herself. And I'm really impressed by it. I mean, we are a kindred spirit, because as I read all the things that she is embarking upon are things that I've done already or am doing now, or could future be interested in them. She's still talking. But anyway, so what we're going to do now is take a small commercial break. You are listening to Blacks in Business Radio, also known as BIB Radio, on Black Talk Radio Network. Please support the blacktalkmediaproject.org and listen to us here every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Again, this is BIB Radio. We'll be back after these messages.
In 2008, the Black Talk Media Project launched the digital radio platform Black Talk Radio Network, the first such platform created to serve the Black community specifically. Black Talk Radio Network has grown with a variety of radio hosts, digital radio stations, and podcasters. Web analytics say Black Talk Radio, the platform, has an online reach that ranks it among the top independent Black media platforms in the world. All of this is possible because of financial contributions to the nonprofit Black Talk Media Project. If you love the work we do and the voices and perspectives we bring to you every day, make a donation today to ensure that Black Talk Radio is here in the future. Black Talk Radio is new Black media for the new millennium.
Okay, everyone, welcome back to Blacks in Business Radio here on Black Talk Radio Network. I want to thank my co-host, Brother Robert 11X, and also our engineer, Mr. Scotty Reed, who is doing it all for us. He does so much, and we just thank him for being who he is. So, Robert, what did you think about that video on side hustles?
Man, that young woman just gave, if you don't know or don't have a clue of something to do, man, you should follow her YouTube page, because just those 10 items that she just suggested that a person could be making money off of. I mean, wow, I was just blown away. I mean, she's either done a lot or doing a lot, and I mean, yeah, I'm impressed with that. The one thing that was funny to me that I never even gave thought was the walking billboard. I see these people with all these damn tattoos on their body, and I just don't see that as employable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wow, either that person has their own business or they tripping, But when she said the walking billboard deal, advertise somebody's business on your body, I still have a hard time getting with that whole concept, but that does make sense to me. Now it's just the how do you even look at that like that? How do you see a person walking down the street with a gang of tattoos and have the time or desire to even look at their body close enough to see the advertisement of a company or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy because when you think about somebody putting tattoos on their body, and if it's used for advertisement, I mean, do they need to pay you for the rest of their life or something? Because that's a forever thing. You could have it removed, but I mean, if I'm advertising for Emo's Pizza on my body, should Emo's just have to like always pay me? How does that work? I mean, you have to be a person that definitely likes tattoos. I would not be jumping into doing something like that, and I don't have any tattoos on my body, so that takes a special kind of interest, I think.
Yeah, I guess that would be for the tattoo enthusiasts. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I guess that works. I just have a hard time actually seeing that in the practice, and I'm sure somebody's getting paid for doing it. That was one of the most things that just stood out as the most far out thing I can see a person making money for. With the actual renting out of the vehicle,
Mm-hmm.
I was a little like, okay, I know Enterprise rents vehicles, but boy, you better have your I's dotted and your T's crossed on that one.
Oh yeah, there is actually like businesses that take you in if you want to rent out your vehicle, and they handle all that stuff. I mean, of course, you could do it on your own, but it's kind of like like Uber and all that stuff. But the company just takes in, they screen the people who want to get the car, they screen you, they do all that other stuff. So I think it's very safe. But for me, it would be like I would have like 3 cars, and so this is just my extra car. I wouldn't do that with my car that I needed. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that we need to be more aware of that are available. Those opportunities that are available in greater detail like that. I didn't even that wouldn't even been on my radar. Had I not heard this young lady, and especially now that you're saying that there's companies that actually do the due process for you, you know what I'm saying? I mean, how would you know that? An average person doesn't know that. I've been in business over 20-something years. I'm always looking for hustles.
Right, right.
That one just I wouldn't have thought of that, but there were some good things, some ideas that are for the beginner, and some ideas that are for the more experienced.
Right. What I do is a market research thing. People can sign up to be a market research person, and they will pay you a certain amount of money. Like if they're doing a food study, you go to the office and they ask you questions, and you interact most likely with some other people in a group, and they pay you. The most I've been paid was $400 to eat pizza. It was amazing.
Yeah, well, if you're a person that's not into, like I know people that do these what are they, the other research that's dealing with different medical researches where you take certain types of medicine to see what type of side effects they
trial drugs and all that.
Yeah, they got all kinds of hustles, I guess, to fit all types of people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can't play with my health like that. No, thank you.
No, I mean, I just wouldn't do it. I don't trust the FDA. I don't trust anything that's coming down that pipeline. I don't want to be nobody's crash test dummy, when it comes to stuff like that. But, I mean, that's just me personally. Some people don't care. Some people do care and need money. and they don't know of any other thing. Some kind of way they found out about these type of hustles, just like what the young lady is expressing. Somebody found out, and I need the money. And I recently knew a guy that did a study that paid him $4,000. I was like, man, what do you have to do to get that $4,000? Who couldn't use $4,000?
I don't know, but I seen one where I guess NASA was doing something where you get, I forgot, it was this huge amount of money, but you have to stay in this spacesuit like 24/7 for like 2 months or something like that. I can't remember what it was, and I was like, no, I don't think I could do that one. That would just be crazy. I don't remember what it was, but it was like 2 years ago, and it was some crazy study where you just had to stay in this thing and you could not get out. I mean, of course, you're wondering, how do they use the bathroom? After probably 2 hours, I'd be done. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, we don't, that's what they say they're doing, but you really don't, again, how do you trust that's what they're actually doing?
Right.
I'm too skeptical when it comes to anything that's putting my health or mental state in jeopardy. You know what I'm saying? There's no dollar amount that can get that back right.
No, once you screw it up, that's it. You screwed up. That is absolutely right. Well, we have our next guest ready to come on, so we will have her hold on just one moment. But most definitely, side hustles are out there, and they could potentially be your segue to entrepreneurship. That's what we're talking about today. A lot of people have started out like that, and there's so many things that you could be doing on the side. It's so amazing. It's super, super amazing. All right, so we're going to take a quick break again. So everybody, you are listening to Blacks in Business Radio on Black Talk Radio Network. We'll be back after these messages.
Make Black Talk Radio your choice for digital black radio. New black media for the new millennium.
Welcome back, everybody. You are joining us for the last hour of BIB Radio on Black Talk Radio Network. Please make sure that you support Black Talk Radio Network by going to blacktalkmediaproject.org and just listening to the radio station every single day. All righty. So we are talking about side hustles, the possibility of a side hustle segue you into entrepreneurship. We have heard two guests and also a video. That video was very dynamic. Both of our guests were both dynamic, and we're hoping that you are finding inspiration in these things because although there are many side hustles, of course, we can't even begin to list them all, but I myself have done many side hustles, and I will continue to do side hustles, such as the market research. Those are always fun to do. You get to meet different people. I'm a people person, so it's always nice. But you always get, a little bit of money for doing something. Sometimes it's a lot of money, especially if you do those healthcare surveys. Robert was talking about those before, but that's not something I want to be involved in. Somebody playing with my health. But the other ones, they're just fun. You go and you talk to them about what products you may purchase at the store or what type of shoes you wear, just something really simple. I remember the last one I went to was dealing with a new TV program that they wanted to bring on. So they kind of wanted your opinion on the TV program. It was a reality show about some black woman and her family. I forgot her name. It was some silly name. You know how they like to pick fun and make a mockery of us, but that's exactly what it was. It was interesting though. It was very interesting. I don't know what became of that because I never did see the show on TV. Oh goodness. Oh, Robert, what are you thinking about the side hustle subject tonight?
Well, like I said, I was listening to the young lady, and she had quite a few different side hustles to choose from, and there's just a variety of things. You know, we talked about the guy with having a tattooed body. You know, I would have never thought of anything like that myself to do as a side hustle, because I don't have not a tattoo, but even with having tattoos, I've never even thought to look at a person that close to see any advertisement. That was something very interesting. I can't even imagine people doing it, but then at the same time, now that she mentioned it, I can see how that is some possibility that could happen. So,
right. Well, what about our last guest? Now, we talked about the tattoo and all that. That's kind of crazy to me, but it seems that our last guest, her side hustle is in supporting the youth in entrepreneurship. But we've run across this before. It's like we always wonder, like, how do people support the youth in entrepreneurship if they haven't themselves embarked on that entrepreneurial path fully? That's always kind of interesting, because you wonder how can one instruct in an area that they really don't do anything in. But I guess it is possible, you know.
I would imagine so. I would imagine.
Right.
I would definitely imagine so. When you may have lived, a lot of years of your life wishing that you would have done this, and maybe having someone close to you that has done it, and you're like sitting on the sideline, and sometimes maybe it's just maybe a person feel like, well, I'll encourage someone younger to do perhaps what I wished I would have done, and that could be a driving force, for a person to encourage to work with young people that way. And in doing that, because they didn't do it, they inadvertently creating a business for themselves, and helping young people.
Right. That is definitely a possibility. We did see that with the young lady. Actually, she's helping her son. He's quite lucrative. He's been on our show before, and so now she was able to create her own platform from being his mother, which was quite amazing. And there's no harm in it, because if you work in a 9-to-5 job, there are surely some skills that you've obtained from that 9-to-5 job to support an entrepreneur or a young entrepreneur. So it's all good, It's all for the betterment of our community, to uplift one another. We just don't do that enough. We do so much criticizing of one another, and we should do better, because if you lead by example, then, you will raise strong leaders. That's what I believe. So, we should definitely do more of recognizing each other's positive attributes to our community versus the negative. I mean, it's easy to see negative, but can you really look out and see the positive? And it is very positive when people want to get children off the street and give them a different way of life and just show them, different ideas about how this thing should be played out. I just really enjoy meeting those people who are looking to entertain the youth in that way. I met a lady today, as a matter of fact. She came into the flea market, and she left one of her items last week, and she was supposed to come back and get it, but she just came and got it today. But I found out that she's a voice teacher. I'm like, oh, my goodness. Have you ever thought about, teaching the youth? And she said, it's amazing that I said that to her because somebody had proposed it to her the other day. And next year, she actually is going to teach the youth. So maybe she can connect with Ozzie that we just had on the show, since she's doing something with the youth, and make that happen. That would be wonderful if she could connect with her.
Yeah.
Because the arts are important, so much so because in the schools they have eliminated a lot of the things that we had grown up with and we knew to be normal in school. They've eliminated them. So anything that we can do to pull these children in so that they can have a better outcome, just take something away from, or I should say, get them out of the streets and take their minds off of all of the calamity that is going on, especially here in St. Louis. It is just so rough. I just feel for the children that have to grow up in these crazy situations. So God bless the ones that want to segue them into something different. Yeah. So if we need to reach out in any way, I think you were saying, Robert, that you wanted to offer your services to Ozzie's organization if they need it.
Sure. If there's any assistance or aid that I can give to the organization, I'm more than willing to help out when it comes to our youth, and share my own personal experience, with the youth and encourage them to become entrepreneurs. We need a lot of different angles at making this happen, So, yes, I'm definitely all in when it comes to that.
So what do you see as the biggest the biggest need for, like, students? Because, you can take in a bunch of children, but do you think that there needs to be some kind of structured program for the youth, or should they just be able to come in and work in your business and get the experience, or a little bit of both? What do you think?
Well, I would say both. I would say that there has to be some actual real-time education going on. I mean, hands-on training actually in a workplace where they can actually interact with customers, and they need to really get a feel of what it is like to do that. Now, we're living in a more technology day of age where the interaction with the human being is being faded out. You have less cashiers is the goal for most of your retail stores. They're trying to have more robots, or what they call it, self-checkout lanes. So you have to be able to teach young people according to the time that we live in, give them entrepreneurial ideals along a company beside the technology that's available today. And a lot of us as parents don't keep up with the current technology that's out here, and the children do. The children, they're a lot of times into what's going on with these, different programs, apps, and all this. So that's what we need to be suggesting at the same time. While we're influencing them, we also have to be wise enough to be fishing out of their minds what is current in their circle. You see, because we want to be able to interact with them, but we must be wise enough to know that what's going on in their world, we're not a part of it. So how do we get the information from the youth to encourage them to be a step ahead of their peers in the real world of business? You see, so definitely we have to be hands-on. That's a part of the real-time training. And then we definitely have to be aware of technology. We have to make it fun. We have to take them to the trade shows and first find out what their interest is. And then once you find out what their interest is, find a trade show. There's a gaming trade show. A lot of children love these video games. I think it's called the R2 going to, or something like that. It's a gaming trade show for that industry, and you can register to go to the show, and take your children with you, put them in business. Actually, literally find them, get them in business. They're not too young to be in business. You can go and open up a business for your child in their name or their company name. Give them a LLC, the whole 9 yards, and start the business for them. And then they can go to these trade shows. So,
right.
You have to be keeping 100 and just do what we need to do. Learn what we need to know.
Right. Well, cycling it back around to side hustles, I think it's important that children, of course they go to school and everything, but you should always be teaching them to have a side hustle, because that teaches them to become entrepreneurs. And as I'm doing my research online, I see that there is actually a web page called Side Hustle Nation. So they give all kinds of information on side hustles. There's one that says 7 proven ways to come up with new business ideas with real life examples, how to 10 times your service business in under 2 years, 9 ways to make your side hustle feel more legit, even if you haven't made any money yet. Now, that sticks out to me because we're actually doing this radio program, which is a side hustle that we have not made any money on at all. Now, we do this because we like it. We do this because we love to inform our Black community. But we also would like to make money, so we need to look into monetizing that. Of course, we know that if we get others to put commercial ads on here, that is one way to make money on it. But that's something that people can do as a side hustle. You can actually have a profitable radio program, and Scotty talks about that all the time. Let's see, it says, going big on Medium, how a new blogger got his first 6,000 email subscribers and made $10K in 6 months. So, of course, that is another side hustle, is becoming a blogger. So, as I always say, there's no need to question when there's YouTube and Google. So if you would like to learn about being a blogger, of course, go on YouTube and Google. If you like to write, or if you have a story to tell, you can also vlog, which is video blog. And everybody has a story. That's the way you can make money. You can get your subscribers up and all that stuff. There's so many things that you can do as pertaining to the internet concerning side hustles. Let's see, what else does it say? Yeah, so I would suggest that you all visit this web page or this blog site. Let's see, the Side Hustle Nation, amplify your earning power. And there's several. Oh, he even has a podcast you can listen to. I don't know who this guy is, but I'm very interested in digging into that because I think connect with other sources will be able to help you all broaden your horizons, especially those that are still behind the desk at a regular job listening to us, because you are just hoping and a wishing and a praying that someday will be your day. Well, today is your day. Today is your day. You need to dig into this side hustle thing so you can start making your way off that job since you don't like it anyway. So, I mean, come on. It's time to be an entrepreneur. So, Robert, you thought that the young lady was talking about some interesting things. I think we need to really, really focus on trying to make sure that people know about these side hustles. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, I'm such the entrepreneur to heart, and you know, I always tell people, you know, if you have any success at your side hustle, and I know people that have jobs and they have side hustles, and their side hustles pay more than their jobs, you know, and I, you know, for the life of me, I just couldn't personally be doing something that pays me more than what my job pay, and not decide to stick with that. But I guess there's a level of false illusion of security that these jobs, this paycheck offers us, because I've literally heard people say, I know this is for sure, meaning the check from the job, but I can't bank on the money that I'm getting on from my hustle. I knew I had one guy, a friend, I would call him a friend. He was really cool with me. He had a line of jeans that he sold. I mean, nobody in the city had these jeans, clinch gear, and this guy was making good money, and then all of a sudden I see him one day and he tells me, I'm working at Quick Trip. But yeah, and I was like, he said, yeah, man, I mean, this pays me. This is for sure. The company is a good company. This is for sure. And what I was doing was good, but it's not guaranteed. And I was like, wow.
Yeah, well, we talked about that before. It is actually a false sense of security, and people, if they put together the things in the right way, they can provide a for sure security for themselves. All that job is offering, you can put it together for yourself. You can put together your own insurance package. You could put together your own 401k, nest egg, savings, retirement, blah, blah, blah. You can do all that yourself. It just takes planning. Of course, you just have to find the right package for yourself. But there are several things out there for entrepreneurs, so that you don't have to stay on this job because of those benefits. Those days are over. I mean, that's why people used to work for the post office and all this other stuff. Those jobs are dwindling down. I think Robert said it before. They're all being replaced by robots, So if you don't at least have a side hustle now, you definitely need to really start thinking about one. You have it inside of you, to do something for yourself outside of what that job offers. Like the lady that, actually both ladies that we spoke with, they're still on a job, but they desire to get away from that soon. Now, the first lady, she's quite successful in her several side hustles. I mean, she's doing so much. It's amazing. And I think she's able to actually walk away from her job if she wanted to, but that's a personal choice. It's a personal choice. If she decides to stay on her job, we're still going to support her, because we see what she's doing. She's moving, she's shaking, she's into real estate, she's doing all kind of things. Now, the second lady, Ozzie, she's not really doing so much of a side hustle, more of a philanthropy, I would say. She's philanthropic, where she's trying to help out the community and wants to make sure that children get what they need by way of entrepreneurship. Now, of course, she probably has 8,000 other things that she has going on that she didn't talk to us about, and that's okay. She can come back at any time. But, yeah, so, I mean, if you don't have it in place right now, definitely start thinking about it. If you have questions and you want to reach out to us, you can do so at weareblacksinbusiness@gmail.com. We'll be happy to help you. We'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. We provide consultation and coaching. Just reach out to us. You don't have to be in the dark about what it is you should be doing for entrepreneurship. And side hustle, we'll call it that, but it's entrepreneurship. If you're doing something that is a business, it's entrepreneurship. So, Robert, I actually sent over to you a link. I wonder if you can go to it. It's actually from Hustle Nation, and it's 99 side hustle business ideas you can start today. Do you see that where I sent it to you?
Give me 1 second here. I did see that a minute ago. Yes, 99 side hustle business ideas you can start today, Hustle Nation. Yeah.
Okay, so do you wanna go over those side hustles? I mean, you don't have to read all the descriptions because we can post it in BIB and they can go to it themselves.
Right. Yeah, definitely something we should post in BIB. So let's see. Well, they talk about affiliated marketing. This refer website visitors to buy products online and earn a small commission on each sale. Probably won't make you rich, but can be visible, can be a viable side business, okay? And then they talk about Airbnb, where you can rent out your rent out a room in your house. You can earn extra money renting out to visitors. That's Airbnb, which is pretty cool. I mean, that's pretty cool. Alterations. If you got a sewing machine, you learn how to, and you know how to do some sewing. That's definitely something that I was interested in myself. You know, because man, you can make some really good money with that sewing machine, needle and thread, for real.
Right, and you know that because you took your clothing to be altered and you saw how much they were charging for that.
Right, just a simple hem in the bottom of your pants, the cuff or whatever, to get them to your exact height, was $15. I think it was $15 or $20, one or two. That's just for the pants. Anything, you know, you talking about pulling in the waist, you talking about probably $25. You know, but these are skills that definitely can make you some extra good money on the side. Now let's go to some of the other stuff. App development, that's in the mobile app department. Baking, which I know some people that bake, and they're making good money. A couple of people I know that's baking. Becoming an adjunct professor. What is that? You may need to graduate. You may need a graduate degree for this one, but it can be a fun way to share your knowledge with the next generation of students and earn some good money on the side, especially if you can teach online or with pre-recorded lectures. Okay, being a task rabbit.
Well, wait. Let me back up a little bit. Now, remember, a couple weeks ago we had Chantel on the show, the food truck lady, and she got to become an adjunct teacher or instructor and does not have a degree at all. So there's ways around everything.
Oh, now that's interesting. Right. That's interesting. And see, so yeah, there, and she said that too. I mean, there's ways around it all. But you know, I'm scrolling through here. The Task Rabbit. What is a Task Rabbit? A Task Rabbit is an on-demand errand running service that enlists regular people to help out. You can earn money in your spare time completing real-world tasks on their unique platform. Okay. And then there's the blogging. Blogging is difficult to monetize, but it can be a fun outlet to practice your writing or build an audience around a particular idea. Okay, that's blogging. I still have a problem with really getting the whole concept of this blogging thing down, personally. Here's one that you're familiar with, brand ambassadorship.
Wait, you skipped number 9.
Well, I know I skipped. The bookkeeping I was going to get back to, but I saw the brand ambassadorship, and I immediately recognized that from some of your works. You know?
Right.
But, yeah, well, you got bookkeeping, accounting, and tax. I just couldn't. I mean, people do this as side hustles, you know, become a tax preparation person and accounting. me personally, this stuff look like, for me, business. It's just businesses that need to be open, you know. Building an authority website. Okay. Building niche websites. So there's a lot of things. Flipping on down, car flipping. You know, car wash and detailer. These, we call them side, side businesses and side hustles, but these are actually businesses for me.
They are.
And this is just legit. This stuff you can make a really healthy living off of.
Right.
Car flipping, you make great money off of selling cars. That should be your business. Carpet cleaning, catering, child care. Okay. Cleaning service, computer repair service, computer tutoring, consulting, and coaching.
Yeah, I know a lot of people with these businesses that are actual businesses. So I guess so people aren't afraid, we can just call them side hustles, but they are definitely businesses.
Yes, but I mean, it's just taking it to the next level. Again, I didn't have a side hustle ever.
Wait a minute, did you see number 26? Dating. The dating
Which
site.
one?
Number 26.
26.
The dating site.
Hell no.
What'syourprice.com actually lets suitors pay women to go on dates with them. That sounds like prostitution or something crazy, like on the down low type of thing. I don't recommend number 26, people.
Cut out.
Yeah, I don't recommend it, people. I'm sorry. There's too much going on. Do not go on what'syourprice.com. Don't do it.
Hell no.
Dog walking, doula service, that's a very good business. Assisting a woman to have a baby, that's wonderful. I mean, the class
to $1,000 per birth.
And how many babies are born every day? Shoot.
Wow. Right.
Mhm.
Driving.
That's a Lyft and Uber thing.
Drop shipping is very lucrative.
Mhm. Yeah, it really is.
Estate sales service, event DJ. Yeah, I did. I mean, a lot of this stuff, like these are, and a lot of people do these things on the side. And see, for me, what I see as I'm talking about these businesses and actually realizing that people have chosen to make that something they do on the side of something that they do for a living. And
yeah, that's true.
That is, for me, personally, I just, that's a big, yeah.
Well, the thing is, people are, it's crazy. It's because we're in a certain mindset as entrepreneurs. I've been an entrepreneur since I was, realistically, 13. I mean, to be realistic, 13, but as an adult, 23. So there are people that are just afraid of that word business. I'm in business. I know a person that is definitely in business. They go to the auction. They buy things from the auction, very good items, and they resell them on the internet. And I just automatically thought that this person was considering themselves in business and this and that. But after our conversation, the person was like, oh, well, yeah, maybe one day I'll open a business, but not right now. And I'm like, what are you talking about? One day you'll open a business. This is what you do all day, every day. You sell things that you bought at the auction. This is business. Oh, no, this is not a real business. And I'm like, Are you serious? I mean, I'm telling you, this person is making some money, and they don't consider it a business. So, and not only that, donate to single women, single moms, that type of thing. So that's like a write-off. That other part could be like a 501c3. But just totally not interested in entertaining the fact that he's in business. I mean, it's people just have a different mindset, and it's okay.
Yeah, it is okay. I guess it is. I mean, evidently it is okay. But,
Well, what can you do about it? I mean, shoot, you cannot make the horse drink the water. You can lead them, but you can't make them drink. That's just all there is to it.
And there's so many benefits from having a business, so many write-offs. I mean, especially you're doing it out of your home. It's just we're not really in the mind of what is best for our money. What makes money sense. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What really makes dollars and cents matter. And we don't know the different tax breaks, from being in business versus going to work. We don't know because we don't care to know most of the time,
We're comfortable being complacent and stuck.
And if dollars can't make you want to do something different, economics can't make you want to do something different, then what will? I heard people, and I've heard this, and I understand it when it comes to real estate. I hear people say, I don't want the responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
They rather have an apartment. And I get that when you get tired of dealing with rental and this, that, and the other. We had our first guest was on, and she was talking about, the real estate, and, it's really, really a lot to do. Well, when you're dealing with rental property, it really can be. When you're dealing with this stuff by yourself, it really can be, very overwhelming, but when you actually deal with it with other options in play, I heard her mention residual income. Okay, well, residual income can come from one or two, maybe three different ways with real estate. And if you don't know the other options and all you know is rental income, then that's where you're going to be. You see, what she probably didn't know is, well, what if she did a lease with option to buy and drew out the details? See, a lot of people don't know that you can actually fill in the open space on a contract. You can write in your demands or your expectations of the person that's leasing the property. Just because it's typed on the paper on the lease that you buy out of the Office Depot or Max or whatever, that doesn't specifically fit your need. So they give you a space to actually write in your demands on that particular leasee. And you can make it say whatever you want it to say, and it is legally binding if the person signs an agreement. And a lot of times we don't know that. We just don't know that. So we do things based according to our own knowledge, and it makes these experiences not so pleasant, almost to the degree that we don't even want to go back down that road. You see, and like if a person could only know, if they only knew that you could finance a property for someone, and you never have to deal with that property, and you getting the same residual income for a set amount of time till that sale purchase price is satisfied, you can take it. It could be $20,000, and you can say, well, I want to sell a $20,000 house over 20 years. Whatever that mortgage is going to be based on the interest rate, hey, that's 20 years of residual income. And a lot of times we don't know these options, so we only lean to what's popular in the particular industries that we're going into, and don't know the other options in these industries. And so the most popular thing is usually not the greatest of all. You see what I'm saying? So
right. Well, that's how it goes. People play follow the leader a lot, and we have to get out of playing follow the leader. We have to go into what's best for us, especially in these economic times. So if you don't have a hustle in place for a business, really, it's a business. If you don't have a business in place, you should make sure that you do that. We always give the opportunity for you to reach out to us at weareblacksinbusiness@gmail.com so that we can help you with that. We're happy to consult with you, counsel you, coach you, whatever you need through this situation. Don't be like so many others that are just stuck and don't know that they can have a business of their own. And it doesn't take much. Some businesses take a lot. If you're trying to own a Chick-fil-A franchise, that's different than starting a laundry company or a daycare business or something. A lot of businesses take little to no money. It just takes the willpower, seriously. And in your mind is like the biggest roadblock ever. And you don't have to have that type of roadblock. You can totally just get it going and start. And we're happy to help you, seriously. We are so happy to help you. We are available to you. You would just set up a time on our schedule. We offer that to you. And we sit and we chat with you for, whatever amount of time that is allotted. But yeah, we make ourselves available to you all. Let me see, what else do we have?
You said something that sparked something just now when you said about hustler. I just spoke to a guy down at the Delmar Loop today, and I told him in business you have to grow from being a hustler to being a businessman. Now, but you need both skills, and they're different. You see, they're different. The hustler is that person that can just make it happen. Whenever a valley or a mountain arises, the hustler knows how to go down the hill or get up the hill. You see, now a company
let me give you the definition of a hustler from the White Man's North American Dictionary. A hustler is an aggressively enterprising person, a go-getter. But
You're
then
breaking
the
up.
second part of it. Oh, am I breaking up?
Yeah, I didn't hear nothing of that.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep, I can.
Okay. It says, a hustler, an aggressively enterprising person, a go-getter. But then the second part of that, it says, a prostitute.
A prostitute?
That's what it says.
Hell to the no.
A prostitute. So let's see what they say about entrepreneur. Okay. Entrepreneur, a person who organizes and operates a business or businesses taking on greater than normal financial risks in order to do so. A promoter in the entertainment industry. So that's what an entrepreneur is, according to the dictionary.
Well, I had a guy that I was in, Phoenix, and this brother broke down that thing so cold. What a hustler was. I'm trying to find it as we talk.
What is it in your phone?
Yeah, It's in my phone. 8 seconds now. It's in downloads, but I can't seem to share it. Let me see. Go back. Yeah, it's in my phone. It stayed with me because it was the most profound thing I ever heard about a hustler. Second, third. Today's date, the 7th.
No, today is not the 7th. Today is the 14th.
Okay, off on the day. Right. But nevertheless, I'm going to find that, and I'm going to read that in the next 2 minutes.
Well, you know, if you can't find it, of course, they can find it in the Facebook.
Right. Yeah, because it was something that I took a picture of it, and it just blew me away. But yeah, we have to learn how to hustle these different businesses that we get into, and then we have to develop the business person in ourselves to actually be able to do what it takes to take it to the next level. You know, because that's definitely what it has to happen. It has to go to the next level, and you have to do certain things to get it to the next level, or it is not going to the next level, for sure.
Right. If you don't do it, then who will? I mean, if you don't care about your own business, do you expect somebody else to care about it? That just is not really realistic at all.
Yeah. Well, nevertheless, I
wow.
don't know where that is. I saved it. I don't know where it is. But yeah. So definitely.
That's okay.
Right. If I find it, I will post it in We Are Blacks in Business for sure. That way.
Well, let me ask you this: did you post it on Facebook?
Yeah, it was a while back.
Well, I guarantee you it'll probably pop up in your memory tomorrow just because we're talking about it.
That would be something.
That's usually how it works. But everybody, do you have any last minute words, Robert? Because we're going to.
Please come down to Grand Slam Marketplace at 2505 Chambers Road and support us. We are now, with our name change, Buckets Grocery Store and Wholesale. We carry a lot of products, Dove products, the 5-gallon buckets of laundry detergent, Avon. Yes, we have Avon now. Men's and women's colognes. All our prices, everything is priced at great prices. That's 2505 Chambers Road in St. Louis, Missouri, 63136. Our operating times usually are from 11 to 7 p.m. You can catch us at that time. Sundays we close at 6 p.m. But usually any time between 11 to 7 you can catch us there at the marketplace. You come through the gate all the way to the end. On the left side you'll see us. We're in 3 booths on the outside of the marketplace. And see that number for our new location is going to be active probably in about another week. So I'm going to give you that number right now, people, and you can call us at 314-274-2340. 314-274-2340. That would be the number directly to the store there at the marketplace. And if you need us before then, you can reach me at 314-791-3210. We hope that you will come by and support BIB Blacks in Business. Thank you.
All right, everyone. Well, we sure thank you for joining us tonight and every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on this magnificent radio network called Black Talk Radio Network. Make sure you support by listening 24/7. Also support blacktalkmediaproject.org to support Black Talk Radio Network. Nobody delivering Black information like this network. And again, this has been Blacks in Business Radio. Please join us on Facebook, the same name, BIB Radio. We look forward to talking to you again next week, God willing. Best blessings to you all. Good night. Good night. Good night.